And in a bigger picture, sort of this actually kind of lasts a long time too. There's I know there's I recently did a sort of some initial work with pitch work really with Ancestry.com, and I learned a lot about about how they're working and the genealogy movement. And there's also a great TV series on right now. But it's a series about African Americans and African American lives. It's called. That's what it's called. And it's about the Henry Louis Gates interviews prominent African Americans in astronauts, actors like Oprah Winfrey's in it, business people, and learns about their history through asking their relatives questions, looking into public records that apparently exist, but that most people don't know about. Not just African Americans, but most people don't know about these records. But in particular African Americans, because the records exist, but they're hard to get at because they're not kept. Oftentimes they'll just have female age 14 in during the slave era, and but what it made me think about is how Ancestry.com exists now, which is almost like a social network. People get in, they find each other, they link up to each other, and we're actually creating these records for ourselves now in a way that was absolutely unavailable to people who are poor or slaves coming over as immigrants. A lot of times these records get destroyed. But now more and more people are empowered to control the records of themselves that are being created, not just through uploading profiles to social networks and creating their Ancestry.com lineages and stuff like that. And I wonder how much this is an open question. How much public policy can play in that? Why are we not? Not that we should, but why are we not doing this with the government? Why do we not fill out our census in the form of a social network?
It's interesting.
Would we do that willingly, or it would be bad, I think, if the government were to actually collect social network information and build a social graph at the NSA. But there probably are somewhere there investigating it.
Maybe the lesson for us today might be the usefulness of the information. Rather than the construct that the government currently makes. Is it really useful information? Is it necessary information?
That's a good point. Maybe the government should be if there is a way to leverage this, we should identify it first. Like, what is the use that the government wants of our data? Is it to identify that I am 2 friends away from someone who spent 6 months in Afghanistan training at a camp or something? That's not necessarily the reason why I would want to share my information with the government, but there may be others that would be useful to. I don't know. Now I'm actually drawing a blank thinking of that.
Oh, that's okay.
But maybe I'm making a point that maybe we don't want the government to be doing that, and yet we are sharing it in the public sphere.
That's true. It's true. And I think that what I've learned so far in terms of the government and how it works is that many times it looks outwards towards what people are doing to figure out its own system. But when it comes to managing a society, they stick to these old ideas of race and gender to figure out how to classify us.
Well, maybe that's because a good deal of what a lot of government relationship with the people is control. It's policing. It's recording what we're doing for the sake of not necessarily, but basically for finding problems and fixing them. So in a sense, it's controlling our behavior on the police side. But I guess also there's a side that will benefit the law-abiding citizen in the case of sort of studies of public health, for example.
That's true.
And that's actually that actually is often presented as one of the reasons why you identify your racial background on a census, because there are diseases that are particularly relevant to certain groups, and if they're going to find out that if your area is shown to be like 40% African American, then you're going to probably more likely to win that grant for sickle cell anemia research, right?
Oh, that's a good
so,
point.
so there's actually, sort of arguments in that favor. Immigrant communities need, if they identify that there's a lot of immigrants in this community, then maybe there's a case to be made that posting signs in another language would be a good idea in this area because it will prevent accidents on the highway.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Whereas if they're invisible, funding doesn't happen.
Right.
So I wonder if social networks and our sort of the proactive stuff that we do for our friends might be able to be, if the government could present it to us in a way that it was like saw the end use, purpose, the use case, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
For that information, then we would share it. That's sort of putting the information back in.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for talking with us.
Thank you.
We'll have these up and we'll send you a link.
Thanks for making me think about it.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Sure.